Shalom, Israel. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops at Great Millstone. And peace and salutations and peace and mercy to the prophets, the hopeful elect, the 144,000. And to the men and women of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom. Back with another lesson. I'll title this one, Our Help. Our help comes from heaven. Call halal, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, call halal, Yamla, Allahayanawa, Abanawa, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. And something that's on my spirit, and as the title reads, our help comes from heaven. And, you know, a natural person, a natural man of the world can't understand this because, you know, they're not spiritual. You know, the Lord says you have to worship the Father, you know, through His Son. You know, the Father Yahawah through His Son, Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, the Savior, the Deliverer. We have to worship Him, you know, in spirit. You know, this is not a physical, you know, thing. This is spiritual. And, you know, we know the Hebrew Israelites, ultimately the elect, you know, out of the Lord's people. We know, Lord willing, I'm part of the hopeful elect, but the real servants of the Lord understand our weapons. Our weapons are not carnal. You know, they're spiritual, and our help comes from heaven, from the heavens, man. And, you know, looking in the headlines, you know, the attack is on. You know, just as the end of June, what they say, you know, over 59,000 migrants have been detained. Over 59,000 migrants have been detained as of the end of June this year. And, you know, they just showed in the headlines yesterday about that off-duty customs agent who got shot in the face by it looked like two Jakes. You see, and you know, Donald Trump. You know, Donald Trump already he came out and said that the authorities, you know, basically you defend yourself by any means. So he's given all authority, you know, to these agents and to these to the authorities to blow you to pieces, man. And, you know, Apostle Tahar just did a lesson a little bit ago, and, you know, it's, you know, like he said, it was something to the title of they're not gonna ask you no more. They're just gonna grab you up, and that's what's gonna take place. You know, and you know, Trump is trying to, or Trump is, said he wants to ban, if it's already in effect, but he wants to ban that, the whole face covering. And then here it is with these health officials, because you still have supposedly the C-19 still out there, and there's a whole disagreement on that. They're telling you to mask up because of the pestilence, but then you have President Trump who's saying the face coverings need to be banned if they're not already banned. It's just a whole bunch of mess going on, but and then just last month you had that senator, the senator Alex Padilla, if I'm saying his name right, who got arrested. A senator who got arrested at a press conference. They slammed him to the ground, arrested him, and immediately got him out. See, we're entering that time, and the Lord, YAHAWASHI, He gave us the blueprint on what to do, man. We have every right to defend ourselves if somebody tries to harm us, but these authorities are coming. They're coming. They're coming in your home. They getting ready to come in your home, snatch you out your car, all of that. They're already going to your job. I mean, forcibly, forcibly, real soon here. It's just a matter of time. But I got let me go here. Let me go here, Matthew. Let me go to Matthew 26. Because they not finna play, man. And we know you got wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. The Lord gave us the blueprint on what to do, how to maneuver in these times. Matthew 26, what is that? Here we go. Because they came in arrested Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. He got arrested. And we all know the betrayal. You got different spies and agents and things like that in amongst the brothers in the camps and out here in the public and stuff like that. They're watching. It's just a matter of time before they just, do an all-out press. See? They just completely just full press and just really start because it's coming. And to haul you off into one of these detention centers or one of these camps in one of these prisons, that's coming. But this is when the Holy Mashiach was when he got arrested. Let me go here, Matthew 26. Call along Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. It says, Matthew 26 and 47. It says, and while he yet spake low, Judas, one of the 12, came, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves. See? With swords and staves from the chief priests and elders of the people. It says 48. It says, now he that betrayed him gave them a sign, saying, whosoever I shall kiss, that same is he. Hold him fast, because we know Judas Iscariot betrayed the Lord. It says 49. It says, and this is what the brothers, what some of us are gonna face, man, is betrayal. That's why the Lord said, "Put not thy trust in a friend, not even the woman in your bosom." Roughly paraphrasing it, not even your own wife, man. In this end time, you got to put all faith in the Lord at this point, and serving Him, and hope, praying that He covers you in this end completely. Because the betrayal, the spies, the agents, they're all out here, man. They all out here. But the betrayal, the persecution, yeah, it's ramping up. It's coming. It says 49. It says, and forthwith he came to Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, and he said, "Hail, Master," and kissed him. It says 50. It says, and Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI said unto him, "Friend, where art thou come?" It says, then came they and laid hands on Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI and took him. The Roman officers, see, or the Roman soldiers. It says, then came they and laid hands on Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI and took him. This is what some of us is about to experience, man. These different, government official authorities and different agents and military, soldiers and things like that. Yeah, they're coming to get the Hebrew Israelites. They're coming to get the Hebrew Israelites. See, this is that time of testing. They came, and the servant isn't greater than the master. This is what some of us are gonna have to face. Even to be being put to death. Some of us is gonna be martyrs, man, for the name of the Lord. But the Lord promised 100-fold for those that die for His name. See, when He returns, you're gonna be the first ones beamed up into them chariots. See, it says they put they laid hands on the Lord and took him. It says 51. It says, and behold, one of them which were of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI stretched out his hand. It says, and drew his sword. See, and drew his sword and struck a servant of the high priest and smote off his ear. And that's Peter. It says 52. This is the point. 52. Because they were trying to protect Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. It says 52. It says, then said Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI unto him, put up again thy sword. See, put up again thy sword into his place. And this is the point. This is the point right here. It says, for all they that take the sword. See, this is the point, man. For all they that take the sword shall perish. See? Shall perish with the sword. See? And that's ultimately the point, man. Our weapons they're not carnal. Our help comes from heaven, man. And in this end, in the midst of all this chaos and different arrests, because they're just full blown taking people without it don't matter about your warrant, your U.S. birthright citizenship. It don't. That's all out the window, and this is gonna pick up full steam because now these agents and task force authorities and stuff. They're people are starting to fight back. They're starting to fight back, and it's just about to be a full-blown, all-out war coming. Civil war, a race war. See? This is what's unfolding in this place right now. And right now, Jake, really the Northern Kingdom right now, the so-called Latinos, Esau is making you the face of terror right now. But we know the so-called Negro is right next to, the Negroes is hand in hand. Jake, they're trying to label us the face of terror. Let me go here. So, and you're gonna have Jake out here, man. And this time they're gonna try to fight back. And Esau has weapons, that we've never heard of or seen. Let me go here. Isaiah. I'll close out with this. Isaiah. The Lord told you too, roughly paraphrasing it, but that He could call in that time. He can call 12 legions of angels, and we know one angel of the Lord can kill everybody on earth. One angel can kill everybody on earth. Just one. See? But we know the Lord, had to be put to death for His people's sins, man. Prophecy has to be fulfilled. But let me go here. But this, when the Lord get back in this end, He said, I'm not going to meet thee as a man. And there's miraculous miracles, because it tell you they shall be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation. The world ain't seen this, man. Not in this time. They ain't seen it. This is that fourth dimension, the heavens of all heavens, power that's coming to ultimately the Lord's elect out of His people. In the end here, this is what we are to do. The Lord gave us the blueprint. It's going to get so violent out here. Violent. Let me go here. Isaiah 30 and 18. So, our weapons are not carnal. We are not to be trusting in a gun or knives or, and we know the new modern day sword is the gun. And the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, our people, they love the gun, just like their oppressor. But the Lord told you, those that kill with the sword, you're going to die by the sword, man. If that's what you think that that gun or whatever weapons that you think that's going to save you in this time, the Lord going to give you over into that. And we're going to see how far that goes. We'll see how far that goes for you. But this is what we are to do right here. Isaiah 30 and 18, and it reads, it says, and therefore will the Lord wait. It says that He may be gracious unto you. And therefore will He be exalted, that He may have mercy upon you. That he may have mercy upon you, for the Lord is a power, a God of judgment. And this is what's about to take place. Judgment, a righteous judgment. Righteousness. There's about to be a righteous judgment out here. And it's well overdue because there's too much wickedness going on. Too much wickedness and dealing with these ungodly people out here. It's a righteous judgment coming. A lot of people need their ass whooped. They need their ass whooped, man, straight up. And the Lord coming to kick tail. For the Lord is a God of judgment. It says, blessed are all they that wait for him. See? Wait. You can't do this by yourself. You're going to need the Lord, man. It says, blessed. Blessed are all they that wait for him. Shalom.